Hello everybody and welcome to another reading vlog. I am sat in a way that I sat when I rounded off the previous one because we are starting the next vlog straight away. So it is Monday evening. I'm hoping to do a little bit more updates throughout the week than I did last week. But so we are going into the final sort of like full week of Gamenightathon, and I am hoping to get quite some progress still done. So I'm currently reading like 3 books at the same time. I'm reading The Poison Song, I'm reading Alone in Space, and I'm reading I'm reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And all 3 of them, I'm very close to where I need to be for them. So Throne of Glass, the intention is to DNF it, and so I'm close to the page 200 mark where I will be DNFing it. If you want more of my opinions about that, you can check the end clip for the previous vlog, or I might mention it when I get to the point in the book where I will be DNFing, because who knows, maybe I won't be DNFing in the end. And then I have also been reading The Poison Song, which I am like 80 pages or something like that away from the end for that one, so I'll give you my final thoughts on that later today or maybe tomorrow. And then I'm reading Alone in Space, which I am also something like 80 pages away from the end, but that is also a graphic novel, so that will go even faster. So I am hoping to have quite some progress in the first few days of this vlog, so that I can then go into new books when I am through with those. So I'll do a roll at that point in time. I think my main focus now is just going to be on trying to finish those off as quickly as possible, and then rolling again for a few little books so that I can have a few on the go at the same time. On the other hand, if I finish my audiobook now, I'm gonna need another audiobook, so I might actually already roll immediately to know what I'm going to be listening to. But so yeah, check in with you guys later. Alright, we are back here because I'm doing another roll, but it's also the start of a day, and so my cats are very excited to see me. But I have actually just realized that I lied when I did when I registered one of my last reads, because I registered that I had crossed off a star prompt, which isn't the case. So I'm going to correct that now in the Excel file so that I'm back to 10 points less, because I am hoping to find a way to cross off that star prompt, but I'm not exactly there yet. But as you can see, I have finished The Poison Song, I finished Alone in Space, and I finished the 200 pages in Throne of Glass. I'll give you some more of my thoughts on that later, but today I'm going to be going to work now, but I need a new audiobook, so I need to do a roll to figure out what I could potentially read for Gamenightathon. As last time, we are hoping for a 6 or a 1, which I know I can fit that star prompt book in. 6! Yes! Okay, perfect. Because 6 for the white prompt means queer, and the book... Where is the book? The book is in my trolley. Ugh. The book that I'll be reading for that is The Fox Maidens by Robin Ha, which was in Gaze the Word, so I'm expecting this to be queer. If not for in book, then it is the author. And then, so this I won't be reading as an audiobook, of course, so I'll do another roll to see what else I can read. Oops. Another 6. Okay, so 6 is favorite author for black. Non-fiction for yellow, and queer for white. Don't have any non-fiction. Favorite author, I have an ebook, being Brandon Sanderson, and that could work, for example, for this black spot over here, which would be nice because then I have access to that yellow one over there. So yes, let's do that. And then I have a book in mind for this yellow one, which is also a book that I don't have an audiobook for, but I could potentially get the audiobook for that one if I land a roll that actually works for. And then I'm going to have to consult the prompts for a little bit. But so yeah, this means, so for the black prompt, this would be, why I've already forgotten it again. So the yellow was disability representation, the white was more than 3 colors, and the black Yeah, the black was over 300 pages. So I am going to have to consult with some people who have read the book that I want for that yellow prompt to see if it potentially has disability representation in it. I don't think so, but you never know. If not, I can try. I could try, of course, an over 300-page book for, because I have like another black cluster here that contains 4 spaces, and that would give me these bonuses. So that would be an option. For the more than 3 colors, I'm sure I probably have something on the TBR that could potentially work for that. So yeah, I have to think about this one, and that means that I'm going to have to go to work with a random audiobook that I don't know whether I will be able to fill in, because yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I could look for the audiobook for the book that I want to put in here, and then at one point, hopefully, I will roll something that can work for it. Hey guys, so it is Saturday morning. I have a lot of reading that I should get done if I want to like optimize on Olympics-a-thon, not Olympics-a-thon, Gamenightathon this weekend. But it is also the Olympic Games yesterday evening. That means that my entire evening like went by. So the only reading I did yesterday was on the commute to work and back, because after work on Fridays, this is Buffy sneaking into under my arm that is holding the camera. So thanks for the wobbling camera work, and thanks for blocking me here now. So yesterday I went swimming after work, which I always do on a Friday evening. But I went a little bit later than I typically go because last week I saw that like at 6 nobody's there. So I was in the pool at 5 and I swam until like 6:15 or something like that. And then so I was only back at like 7 or like a little bit after 7 even. And then I had to quickly go to the store and get all the junk food in the world, because I was like, this weekend I'm going to just be watching gymnastics most of my time. And so I went to the store, got stuff there, got way too many things for me to haul back, so the way back was torture. And then I was just in time to watch the opening ceremony, and annoyingly enough, I thought the opening ceremony was going to start at 8, but it's apparently started earlier because it was already busy when I tuned in. So I had to kind of rewind to see the Belgian delegation, but the gymnasts were not on the boat, I think, for the Belgian delegation in any case. So, but in any case, that took 3.5 hours, so it was like 11:30 when the opening ceremony was over. I did really enjoy the opening ceremony, and I think there were definitely some sections that were a little bit long that could have been handled like in a quicker way. It was feeling so bad for the athletes because it was like absolutely pouring down during the entire thing, and I'm like hoping that nobody catches a cold as a consequence of this. And I got goosebumps when Celine Dion was singing. But so yeah, I did enjoy the opening ceremony. I enjoyed especially the section in which they were showing like these figures. They had these sort of like statues come out of their like the marble thing that they're on typically, with female figures from the history of France, which I really enjoyed the whole time. I thought that that was just really special. And then overall, it was very diverse. It had like very diverse representation, both for like like different skin colors, different gender identities, as well as disability. And I really enjoyed it. But that meant that my entire Friday evening was just gone like that. And so now, this morning I woke up, I've been to the library because I needed to return the book and I needed to get the August book for my read along. And then I needed to get some books for my mother's birthday as well. So all that is done. I am now ready to download or like to subscribe to HBO Max in order to be able to watch all of the gymnastics these 2 days, because the Belgian public network is showing a few of the gymnastics rotations, but there are like 8 in total between the men and the women, and they're showing 3 of those 8, and I would like to see more, so I'm going to subscribe to HBO Max to get like the maximum experience out of it. But that means that what reading I'm going to be doing this weekend is going to be limited, and I have I do have quite a lot that I want to get done, but the main priority is finishing the Fox Maidens, and that definitely we can do. Like, it's a graphic novel, I'm over halfway through it, and so that one we can definitely do. So the Fox Maidens is a graphic novel in which we're looking at two girls who accidentally meet somewhere in the beginning of the story. So one of them is the daughter of like a guy who owns a martial arts school, and he, against tradition, is letting his daughter train along with the boys, and his daughter is basically like really, really good. And then one day she kind of comes to the defense of a girl who's being beaten and chased on the streets, and that is the other girl that we're following, and she's kind of then recruited into the rebel forces. And so at one point in time she is asked to kill the girl who saved her, and she finds herself unable to do so. And so far these storylines haven't really clashed that much, and we've very much been focusing at the current moment on the daughter of the martial arts instructor, and I'm very much starting to look forward to when they're going to meet. But the story of this girl has also been very interesting, but I won't really go into that too much more. This also deals heavily with the mythology surrounding the Gumiho, the nine-tailed fox, which I don't have much background on, so I also don't know like how well or badly it plays on that, because I personally don't know that myth that well. But so yeah, that is my main priority, because that one can I can cross off 3 spaces with it, with like almost no page penalty, because it's only 9 pages extra, and that is my star space prompt. So with that one I will like lose a 10-point penalty, so this book can earn me like 13 points in and of itself. So yeah, that will be very good and very, very welcome. But so yeah, let me get to some reading. Let me subscribe to HBO and start the first gymnastics rotation, which I think is probably the one that I'm going to be paying the most attention to, because I believe that this is the one that has like China and Japan in it, but I could be wrong. Maybe that's the rotation 2. And if that's the case, then I might have a little bit more reading time during this rotation. So I have gymnastics hangover. It is 8 o'clock on Monday morning. All my weekend has more or less been gymnastics. I have, aside from that, done some reading. Sure, I finished the Fox Maidens. But mainly I've been watching a ton of gymnastics, and even when I wasn't watching gymnastics, I kind of took the opportunity to watch some Olympic sports that, otherwise I would never have the opportunity kind to watch. I watched some surfing and I watched some skateboarding, which both of them were really fun to watch. So this weekend has not really added much to my reading count. I did kind of expect that, of course, going into it. The idea is now that I have like 3 remaining days in the readathon to kind of get a lot of pages still done. I still have, like, I would need to get to page 300 in the Brandon Sanderson. I am at page 80 or something like that. I would need to, and then I need to roll again to see if I can fit Fathom Folk in there, because I have been listening to Fathom Folk. I'm almost to the 100 page mark for that, so I could almost count a space for that. But with the Happy Marriage, I'm not that far. And depending on if I can count Fathom Folk or not, I would kind of want to try and finish that cluster that has that star prompt in it, because it can give me a huge boost in the score. But of course, that would mean a whole ton of pages. And the next 3 days are not going to be light on gymnastics neither. I mean, they are, but they are if I were to be on holiday, but I'm not. So I'll come back from work, I'll have some time, and then I'll have to watch gymnastics, because it's the team final for the men tonight, team final for the women tomorrow night, and then Wednesday evening I'm going to be hosting sprints. So then I'll be focusing on reading and skipping the all-round final for the men. But like, yeah, we're cutting it close, guys. We're cutting it close. All right, time to see what my last roll would be. So I'm currently 300, like 2 pages shy of being 300 pages into the Sunlit Man, so I could have access to this cluster right now. We know that the next prompt that I rolled was a yellow prompt, which I cannot combine with that star prompt. So either I can use it for part of that cluster or for something else, depending on if I roll something now that I can combine with this star prompt. So a 6. A 6 for yellow is... So a 6 for yellow is non-fiction, meaning I cannot count a book that I have in mind for that one, which means that I'm going to be changing my plan, and so I'm going to be using this cluster for the Brandon Sanderson one, because then I can get those bonus points, so 6 bonus points for completing this whole section. And then I'm a little bit stuck with my yellow book that I'm currently reading, so I maybe have to figure out if I can kind of use the book that I have for the disability prompts, if I can use that for a black space, for example. Then I can count this column, though it's only worth 1 point. So ideally I would count it for a white one, because then I can get like a 3-point bonus for like reading 100 pages in that. So I'll have to kind of look at that, because I'm not entirely sure actually what the prompt was for the white. Alright, so I've kind of thought about, like, I'll just put myself in a different light because this is like not great lighting. So I basically just like reconsidered what to do. So I am indeed going to be like counting the Brandon Sanderson one for that cluster that I just showed. And so for the disability rep, which would have been like the yellow prompt, the white one there is more than 3 colors, and so I can count the happy marriage for that, and I will just like get to the 100 page mark in that. So I just need to read some 50 more pages in that to be able to count that. And then like the next roll is a 6, which would be favorite author for black, non-fiction for yellow, or a white would be queer. And I am already reading a book, but I'm not entirely sure that I can count it for queer. So I have asked that to see if I can potentially get something out of that book still. And otherwise we'll see, because I do still have some time left to read tomorrow as well. So I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to still try to like get some more pages in something done in order to count something tomorrow, or whether we can consider this like the plan, because then I think I'll have some time left tomorrow on sprint, so might as well try and fit something else in, right?